Oh, things are not looking good for this movie. I talked about this on Friday, and I just wanted to check back in with the story, because if there's one thing that goes on with the media that I'm sure you're all used to by now, is that Disney likes to kind of keep their hands on them in a tight grip on how things are talked about with a lot of these websites. That's why when I went through the Deadline article when it originally broke back on the 7th, I talked about the spin they were putting on this, comparing it to Hunger Games that came back out in 2014. This is not the same thing. They're trying to compare it to Angelina Jolie's Sleeping Beauty movie. That's not the same. This is a high-budget movie with an actress that is very unliked. She really has sped run her career into the wall. It's almost impressive because they were hyping her up like she is the next coming of Hollywood. Get ready. Marilyn Monroe, who? Now we have Rachel Zegler. And she bought into it, saying people would wait in lines to see her, that she deserves all of this money. She's the best. Was bold enough to tell Trump supporters that she doesn't want their money, which she had to walk back because I guarantee you somebody at Disney called her and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And she actually, that's the first time she's ever had to walk anything back. Never forget that she jumped in and dogpiled on Gina Carano. She's a mean person, a nasty person. She would probably, if you were getting like beaten to death, she would probably, as long as you are somebody that votes a different way than her, she would probably watch it happen and snack on some chips. She's not a good person, and karma is really slamming her hard right now. So as you know, this movie, it's looking at, and this is through long term, like looking, this movie comes out in March, so we're kind of looking at the long-term box office opening right now. But these guys are actually pretty good at figuring out what's going to happen here. Sometimes they're off, but I'm going to say this time they're probably dead on. 63 to 70 million opening. And that puts this movie under their last flop, which was Little Mermaid. And that movie was absolutely a flop. So I want to show you like some of the spin that's going on right now. So here's from MovieWeb, but it's over on MSM.com. Box office tracking is surprisingly high. We thought it would be lower. They really think that this is good. That's how it's being spelled, because they don't want you to think this movie is going to flop. Disney is all about image. It really is about image with them. They want you to think that this movie is a success. They're going to probably lie about the budget, but from what I hear, this movie was done in the UK, and the way things work over there is paperwork gets filed, and eventually we will likely get to see exactly how much this movie cost, which I can guarantee you is a very, very substantially high budget. I'm going to show you some more cope here. Well, actually, not so much cope on this one. I just had this tracking is surprisingly high. There was another one. Let's see, they go in and talk about the controversy. We'll come back to this article. But Outkick put this one out. Snow White pre-release tracking looks abysmal. They're not trying to spin it. They know it's true. Here's Geek Tyrant. Disney's live-action Snow White remake is set for a not-so-magical box office debut. I guess they didn't get the check. Here's Screen Rant. Rachel Zegler's Snow White early box office projections eyeing continued downward trend for live-action Disney remakes. Because despite how good Mufasa might look to some people, that movie was actually pretty catastrophic for Disney. Didn't come anywhere near the movie's, the first one's numbers. I'm not even sure if that movie made money because of how much it cost to make it. Little Mermaid did shit. Like, that movie, undeniably a failure. This movie's going to be a failure too, and it's going to be an expensive failure. Here's the box office openings for a lot of their other ones, and you can see them right here. I wish they had the years on there. They don't have any budget. Mufasa opened at $35 million, but it had legs on it. That kind of helped it a little bit, but I still don't think it won any. I still don't think it did very good, making any money, considering how much it cost to market and make that movie. The Little Mermaid, 118. Cruella, damn, that movie did bad, $26.5 million. Final global box office, 235. Yeah, but it used to all be in the billions, man. Look at this, billion. Some of them even came close. The Jungle Book, almost $1 billion. Beauty and the Beast made over $1 billion. I didn't know that. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, this might end the box office live action shit, which I would love to see because they take it as an excuse to redo the movies and make them woke. Like, Snow White is terrible. She turns Snow White into a resistance fighter. What are you doing? Nobody wants that. She screwed this movie. Let's go back to this where they talk about the controversy. I can't believe the spin on this. Box office tracking is surprisingly high. Are you kidding me? Is that a joke? Snow White, the trailer received a bevy of dislikes on YouTube, making it seem like Snow White would be destined to flop. Yet the internet is not always a reflection of real life. According to Deadline, the box office tracking estimates that Snow White could open between 63 to 70 million over a 3-day box office weekend would easily be the biggest opening weekend for Rachel Zegler, whose previous winner was The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which opened to 44 million. This would put it on par with fellow Disney live-action remake Cinderella, which opened at 67 million in 2015. It's a different time, buddy. In Cinderella, let's be real. That movie, I'm pretty sure, probably had a modest budget. This movie's budget, they redid shit for this movie. This movie, it was not cheap to make at the end of the day. That's why, remember, it got delayed. It was supposed to come out last year, which I guarantee you they delayed because of a lot of the controversy that was surrounding it, which has not gone away. She opened that door back up herself during the election. And I'm going to tell you, look at the boos that Taylor Swift got. MAGA doesn't forget. But what a spin. Oh my God, Rachel Zegler's biggest opening ever. She's never had a win. Other than, because Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes did okay. But that movie didn't star her. She was a supporting actress in it. And did not have a huge budget. That's the only movie she's been a part of, as far as I know, that's done okay. And she was not the star in that movie. But sure, yeah, she got a win there. But this movie is going to be bad. This is going to be a flop. The controversy around Snow White might not be real. Okay. This is Cope, the article. The controversy around Snow White has primarily been centered on and targeted at lead actress Rachel Zegler. Similar to when Halle Bailey was cast as Ariel in The Little Mermaid, much of the criticism of Zegler is rooted in racism. Oh, it's 2016 again. This shit does not work anymore, but they don't understand that. Zegler's outspoken nature, wanting to tackle the criticism head-on, has made her an even bigger target for online trolling. Critiques that the star made about the Snow White ride at Disneyland were twisted in her criticizing the original movie, leading to plenty of misinformation. Zegler also made a post criticizing voters of Donald Trump, which she then deleted and apologized for, which has led to Snow White being part of a culture war. Yeah, she deleted it and apologized. All is forgiven. Even though that was a PR apology and nobody buys it because she's an awful woman. Awful person. Awful person. She's not a good person. People see through her shit. People are smarter than they're given credit for on stuff like that. People see through her bullshit. Her outspoken nature, oh boy, is she ever. I like how they kind of twist that around to make it look like, well, she's just a little outspoken, but she's such a good person. It's all just racism. That's all it is. It's just racism. People aren't falling for this shit anymore. Like 2016 anymore, movie web. This is the strong movie web comes out with the spin, while every other outlet talks about how this movie is a dud. And it will be. I'm pretty confident that this movie is going to be a catastrophic failure. How many times we got to teach you this lesson, Disney? You had a good year last year. I don't think this year's going to be so good for you. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.